Now she's in Florida, so she's built out a lot of condos. I'm at where there's houses. So if you have condos, then you're going to need to build out a condo section, house section, maybe a townhome section, right? Like what does your market look like? She does blog a lot. So for her, this right here, and I can show you guys kind of how to do this and tomorrow when we do the blogs. She is pulling stuff in from her MLS. Mine will do this. They have a way you can pull in a widget. There is a widget on the front end of landing pages that Sierra has built in. But if you're going to blog, that same widget's not there. And this is actually MLS data. So I did a little research on her, and this is what's helping her blogs rank. She's got IDX feed in here and some FAQ sections. So let's talk about where your content should show up if you're doing a landing page versus a blog. So one of the things I will tell you that, get back into my zip code page. This is a good example. Um, when they are coming in specifically to look at a house and they want to find a home, the home needs to be at the top. So what I'm saying is they're searching for houses here. Any options should be at the very top to look at a home because that's what Zillow does. Zillow has zero content unless you go to a blog. You're going to be able to win though with that content. So right here, the homes for sale in the zip code, if you look at it, you could get it to here. I'm using it in all of my content, and I'll show you how to build these in a little bit, right? I want my keyword to be prominent. That's what I'm trying to rank for. And then if you come down here, popular real estate homes for sale searches in Dallas, Georgia. So if you're looking at this, this is all those long tail keywords, right? Luxury homes for sale in Dallas, homes for sale with a pool in Dallas, single story homes for sale in Dallas. This is what somebody types in. That's why it'll help you rank. I do have my map. If you come down a little bit more, this is where I'm going to give everybody the prompt. And then you'll be able to see because I've got schools bailed out, questions they ask, something somebody would want to know. Is there new construction? I have a lot of new construction out here. How far away am I from Atlanta? Everybody wants to know commute times. We're going to compare my two major zip codes to each other. This right here, watch, I can click into anything in here. These all hyperlink. Those are popular searches once again. These are lifestyle once again. I'm just trying to help get that barrier, have that content so they could come in. These are common questions that people ask. So that prompt is going to pull them. It's going to rotate them so you're not getting the same questions on every page. And it's what somebody really would want to know. And they actively search on Google for those questions. That's what you're trying to answer. So my prompt will help you with that. And there's our team. And then I have a relocation guide. And then at the bottom, I've done some interlinking just like Zillow would, but where it's really easy to see. Zillow usually doesn't build schools out. In my area, schools are what people tell me all the time they want to search by. They're heavily searched, not just my cities. Sometimes they come to me and they only tell me they want certain schools. That's all they're going to ask for. The city topic never comes up. So whatever is important in your area is what I would tell you to kind of focus on when you're trying that niche. So I'm going to drop in, let me find the chat, and I'm going to give those again to you guys from yesterday, just so it's kind of easy. Let me grab them real quick. Let's see here. These were what I was giving out yesterday. Um, it's kind of funny here. Let's see. Um, sorry. Well, it's not letting me give it to everybody, but Mallory probably can share them back out. Let's do that. See if she can get it. It's just let me, it said host and participants. Let's see if that'll get it out. So I'm going to show you.
And Lorraine, you have one question from Linda. How are you getting those light and dark blue text boxes?
That's actually in my prompt. So when you go into there to, when I share it with you, I'm going to give you a sheet on how to create your own prompt, which is going to look like this. Let's see. And then I want to tell everybody, I have this set so you guys can edit them. So when I share these with you, you have to make a copy. So when you copy it, you can edit it and do anything you want with it. You don't have to ask me for permission to edit it. This right here is actually my prompt. And then um, this is how to answer it. So if you come in and answer these questions, like your name, your team name, your brokerage, your primary cities, all that, you can also come in here and at some point it's going to ask you for hex colors. So if you decide what colors you want to use, it will let you create them. And that's how I got the colored blocks. And you literally will go through here and fill everything in. I know it looks like a lot of homework. I made it a big font. You could print this, but if you copied it in Word, you could put in links. And once you pop this into Claude, all you're going to say to it, and it'll tell you at the beginning, is make me my own prompt. Replace all of Lorraine Danielson's information with my information. And then just check the links to make sure it did it. But I'm literally going to give you the cheat sheet on how I created all the content on my page. Does that answer? Let's see. So, how do you get all these drop downs, all this stuff? Now, this class is about getting seller leads, and I'm absolutely going to show you guys how I blog tomorrow to get that. But if you don't build your site out, you're just going to be a couple of pages about seller information and some blogs about it. You could totally do that if you didn't want the buyer leads. But a lot of the back ranking information, neighborhoods, other stuff, sometimes my sellers do come off of that, right? Like they want to know about selling in a neighborhood, and you could target them that way as well. Um, so, um, this is where I'm going to show you how to do the drop downs and all that. Okay. So when you come into your main screen, this is what it's going to look like on your back end. This is the first place you need to start is your saved searches. So you've now made a whole list of everything you want to build out in your site. You know what cities, zip codes, 3-bedroom homes in Dallas, Georgia, right? Three-bedroom homes in Paulding County, 3-bedroom homes in Seven Hills, like whatever you're building out, you're going to do your save searches. And I like to batch these. You could not do that. But for me, it was easier to just stay in the flow when I did them. So it's super easy to do. I do have to IntelliSearch and mine. I don't know if everybody on this call does or not, but this is what my back end looks like. So I would come in here and obviously my area is going to be Dallas. If I'm working on a subdivision, it might be different, but I'm going to click Dallas. I'm going to come in and I wouldn't do a price range unless I'm trying to do price ranges. So I would leave that blank, right? And then under property type, I am all single family homes. So I want to eliminate some land, usually unless I'm obviously trying to push out something for land. So I've got these in here. And then from there, you can do whatever you need to do. Like if I did want it to be a neighborhood, I would have picked a neighborhood, right? So whatever the search is, I'm just going to show you a basic. So nobody can see this. This is just what I need to know. For me, I would not put everything homes for sale in Dallas, Georgia, because if you type that in, you're going to have when you go to search, everything's going to say home on the front. So this to me would just be a Dallas, Georgia search. I'm going to cancel it. I already have one, but I'm going to show you, for instance, let's cancel this. So like right here, if you want to create those areas, this is homes for sale under 300,000. And I did do that only because I only have a few of these. And this is a price that I was working on. But like I said, if you don't do that, then you're really just going to call it what it is. Is it a neighborhood? Is it new construction in that neighborhood? You are going to want to make those different. And here's why. Later, I'm going to show you how to create the little sidebar. And when I show you the sidebar, you'll see why naming them kind of comes into play. But right now, let me refresh this. Um, this is everything, right? Like I do have some old zip codes in here. I just haven't deleted them. I'm not showing them all on my front because I originally did have information that was not in Dallas when I first bought my site out. My first original site was generic, right? It was just the basic site that got built out by Sierra. And I said I wanted to cover 3 counties and all that was in there. Um, and so, it was just generic and I don't do that anymore. So like I got 4 bedroom homes in Paulding. This is a neighborhood site. Just got, these are all my schools. They're just the name of the school, right? I did not put homes for sale in there. So that's the first thing I would tell you to do. Get as many of those built out because when you're in a landing page, you're just able to grab the IDX feed and pop it in. That's what this is. It's just IDX feed. But we don't think of it that way normally. When we set somebody up on a home search, all we're doing is saying, hey, this one person wants this school or zip code. But you are now actually building these out so you can grab them easily when you're building a page, if that makes sense. So this is a content page. So this is where the magic happens. Now, we're going to talk Sierra language and everybody else's language out in the world. I always call these drop downs. Okay. This is a drop down along here. And then this is like underneath the drop down on your content. And in the everywhere else, I call them a landing page. But on the back of Sierra, you're going to have sections, right? So these are the content labels, and you're going to manage your sections. So there's my neighborhood section, right? My sell your home section, move to Dallas, things to do, buyers, contact, lifestyle, search, team. So that's what you're going to build. You're going to call them a drop down, but on the back end, they are sections underneath your content label, right? So under here. So you can include something in the nav, you can take it out, you could have a display a sub menu. That all is on the back end of how to build in Sierra. What I'm going to try to show you today is when I'm going to use, everybody asked me about zip codes. So we're going to go into the zip code. So for me, when I built this out, this is one of those things you might make a mistake on. Actually, let me get into, I'm gonna go back here for a second. Let's do, trying to think what's a good one to do. Okay, let's do a neighborhood page because that'll kind of show you. So in your neighborhood pages, I want the page title on the navigation, and then I'm gonna show you right here what I mean. So see how it says Arthur Hill Homes for Sale? I want that to show up because somebody is looking for homes for sale. They are not probably just typing in a neighborhood. That's more like HOA information, stuff like that. You want to let Google know it's for sale, but this is my page file name for indexing. Okay, so can you see the difference? It's not going to say homes for sale. So it makes that this domain way too long. See, I have homesforsales.com, neighborhood, Arthur Hills. So in this instance, that's where it's going to vary. Then you're going to have a page. It will help you. Google reads words. So if you can put words on here, on this one, I have not. It's an older page I had built out. This is actually really good. You know how when you're Googling and you see a page overview, this right here, that's what this is. I have some friends in other systems and they don't do this. And then this is blank. So when it goes to link, this is what tells the page, Google, what your page is about, and that it's homes in there for sale. So then right here, you're going to have your IDX, and you can have the price ranges show up like I showed you earlier. And then I have content. So I'm going to give you that prompt. Like I said, it's going to build everything out for you. Um, and then here's your meta title. You need to have homes for sale in it, right? Just like this looks like Arthur Hills Homes for Sale, where it's located and everything. So, let me get back over here. I'm going to get in this 30157 again. But that's why that's important. See, that word zip code is not in there. Now, um, I will tell you that at the top, you need your H1 tag always to be up here. A little bit of information in this. My prompt, when it builds it builds out at the top. I always take it and put it in its own little content section. So this is a content area. And how you get to all of these are right down here. And I can add a new component. So content area, you can type in. This is going to be listings from a saved search. These are linked from a content label. So let's talk about the difference. This is letting you put any content you want in there. This listings from a saved search, we set those up. That's an IDX feed. And then this is another thing you're most going to commonly use. So this is what I call long tail keywords. That's homes for sale in Dallas, Georgia with a pool. And it makes homes for sale with a land, right? And it's going to make the little labels. So on the front end, I'll show you what that looks like. So this is my H1 tag right here. My description, they can get to the 30157 homes, right? So right here, it's giving some market information. This right here is how they can search by different price ranges. This is your IDX feed, okay? And then right here, these are the popular searches that they might look for. 3 bedrooms, homes for sale with a pool. Once again, I'm trying to do all the linking just like Zillow does. Okay. And then this was the rest of that content that's in that content sheet, right? So that's where Zillow's never doing that. They're not going to go deep. They just have an amazing linking system and they've been around for longer than you have. So over time you can rank and push them out, but you just got to create it. This is right here where the content label, see, I have zip codes. So on this page, if I label my page zip codes, every time I want that little block to come up that says zip codes, it'll come up. If I label it neighborhoods and I tag it, it'll come up that'll come up in a little block. This is an interlinking system built into Sierra that will help you create all the little blocks you need. And I know it's a lot of information, but when you start building that structure out, if you come up here into your modules at the very top, there you'll learn how to do all of this. But that's the framework you need. You need your H1s at the top, and that prompt will do all that for you. Don't get hung up in an H1, H2, H3. That prompt I'm going to share for you right now, I'm going to drop them in, will literally build these out for you. It's the ultimate cheat once you fill out this questionnaire. You won't have to do any of that yourself. I did all that heavy lifting in a way when I was building it for me, and I'm going to share it with all of you.
Hey, Lorraine, real quick.
Yeah,
Do you want to share the prompt landing page? I see you just did. Thank you.
yep, I just did that. Yeah, so that way you guys have it. So you could literally, once you get all your pages, and this is the second thing that you really need to do. Let me get, it's got a little wonky there. Okay. Um, all these content pages, go in and create them. Create the very top piece like this. I will show you. Create this section right here. Choose a create all your sections, which are drop downs. Sections are drop downs. Neighborhood, sell your home, move to. First thing you do. Create your page title, file name, save it. Don't put one piece of content on there. Create every single link. That is your framework in your house. Okay? Because if you have all your links, now you can go into that prompt and build it. Because you'll have all the links for the prompt. So now you can build all your content and it'll start interlinking you. Because if not, there's no other way for you to do that, right? Like if you don't have every single link you want in there, you can't build this. You got to have all those pages, right? And a link to them. It's okay if they don't have information to start with, but you got to have the links. You're not going to have a link down here if you don't build out your school pages. So just do that first piece, right? Just literally come in and choose a section. Like I said, create your sections, create a section, a page title, and a page file name. Start there. Then you can make all your interlinking because if you use my prompt, you won't have any links in there. It'll create content for you, but it won't hyperlink your system like Zillow does. Does that make sense? Can you get a nod from somebody, Mallory? Or do I need to explain that a little bit further? Because that's crucial.
So everyone, if you understand what Lorraine was just showing you, make sure that you give us a
It's like
thumbs
a
up.
one in the chat or something.
Yep,
Yeah, you
thumbs
got
up
to
plus
build all
one.
these. You got to build these right here first, right? Neighborhood, so your home, new construction, whatever your section is. If you got condos, it needs to say condos. If you're doing zip codes, if it's your move to section, things to do. You build this top piece out, and those are called under content pages right here. They're the sections. So you're going to add a new section and you're going to create those first. Okay. Then underneath them, you're going to create these pages. So your Dallas, Georgia home list, right? Move to. Rip me off. Come in here and look and see what I got if it's something you need. Zip codes, new construction, right? You're going to add those pages. Um, Under my move to is my schools. I build all my schools out, my zip codes, everything like that, right? Neighborhoods. Once you've built out all the pages with the links, then you're able to do the next step, which is you can build the prompt out and that will give you the content. That will give you all those little drop downs and sections and blocks. But it's crucial because if not, you'll get going and all of a sudden you're like, well, I need a neighborhood section. I don't have all my neighborhoods. I want to put my long tail keywords in, like homes for sale in um, Dallas, Georgia, or waterfront homes, right? Or homes for sale in Dallas, Georgia with a pool, and you can't build that section if you didn't have all the links. So build your house, build your framework first. And like I said, they don't need to have anything on there for you to get the links. I can literally add a new section right now. So if I wanted to come in,
All right, Lorraine, real
yeah,
quick. You have some questions in the chat, ranging from being able to utilize the prompts to the steps of creating batch searches, building sections. Um, so if you want to visit those really quickly, that may be a great next step, and then we can return to this.
okay, so let me see. All right, if you are unable to copy, so when you went into the prompt, did you hit, would it not let you copy it? At the top, if you say copy, it should let you make a new copy of it, and then you can do something with the prompt. If not, Mallory, can you grab anybody that needed it? But it should. Let's see. Somebody said you can click the link, we'll route you to your browser and copy URL. Yeah, make a copy. All right, everybody's good to go. What was the other question, Mallory, somebody had for the rep?
Let me
I
pull it real
think
quick.
you're past a copy. Yeah.
Okay, Aaron said, is there any recommendations on someone to hire to build this out correctly?
Who do you got, Mallory?
I could look, let me send some recommendations post.
Okay.
Um, I'm already having to work out some issues on why some of you did not get the recording plus the assets from yesterday. But I will note to send that out.
Yeah. Um, I will tell you, I built a lot of mine. You're either going to build it or you're going to pay. And I find agents, you could be 5, 10,000 to build some basics out, just to let you know, because it is work. Um, I've seen people pay more for that if they want to get deep. I know some people who have a VA trained overseas. That's a cheaper option. And they hire someone and they kind of work for them because they continue to build, they continue to blog for them. It's not a one time thing. So that could be an option as well. Because you could totally train somebody to do this, and that person do it full time or even part time if you wanted to pay someone. So I know it sounds daunting when everybody gets in it, and if this is not how you work, I like nerdy things. I like technology. I have some friends that, I mean, I literally spoke at Real Estate Distilled in Kentucky last week, and I had people come up and I did kind of an overview, and some people were like, that sounds amazing. And I love what you said. And I want sellers to call me, just call me. But they're like, I'm never building that out. I'm never doing that. So that's okay, right? Like if this is not your jam, but you want it, you could hire someone. Um, and they could come in to do it. Um, so I'm going to show you just really, really quick how easy you create that link, right? So let's say I want something under we'll do a neighborhood, right? That'll be an easy one. Everybody wants to build out neighborhoods. So if I go into my neighborhoods and I would just do, right, homes for sale in, I'm going to say my neighborhood, right, in Timberlands. But then right here, I don't want it to say that. I want it just to be the Timberlands. Okay. Page title is what SEO is going to pick up. This right here is to make sure that um, you don't have this be too long, right? Up here. So I would just come down here and I would say this. This is all you need to create the links for your structure. So that's your first step. Like I said, you're going to create your sections, right? You're going to create your neighborhoods and all this. And then underneath that, when you're building out, you just want these for the links. And then I hit save and I'm done. But I'm not going to do that because I did. I'll delete that in a minute. I already have that neighborhood. Yeah, see, it gave me an error. It wouldn't let me. It says that exists. All right, so I'm going to cancel it. So once you've got all those, then I'm going to show you what I would tell you to do, right? See, it should let you make a copy of this. And then what you're going to do is come in here and um, you're going to, once again, need to fill something out. So this one is for blogs. Oops, sorry. Let me get over here. Into this is the one for all your content. So if you come in here, I know it sounds like a lot, but I gave you the questionnaire. So if you fill in the questionnaire, like how many homes have you sold, right? I use that in my calls to action. And then right here, just figure out what you need. Maybe you need condos, like I said. Maybe you're not just houses like I am. Maybe you do a lot of land or horse farms or Waterfront properties. You sell cottages on a lake, right? Like what is important to you? I built this in case they run on another system, but this is mine is specific to Sierra. I do have some friends that are on other stuff. And so I made it where it would ask them because you would have to tweak the prompt. So if somebody hops on this and you're not on Sierra Interactive, that HTML is written specifically for Sierra Interactive. This is neighborhoods. Like these are all the cues you would need to kind of tell you what you need to build out. If you fill this out, um, and create all your links, this is then what you would do. So, you would come into, um, this prompt, then this next page. I gave you this. Make a copy of this and then edit it first. Then what you're going to do is you're going to copy in your answers into Claude right here. So this is Claude. It's my bestie. So then this is what I would say to it. Please take my answers and links and replace all the information. And I have this on this page, but that's fine. All the information um, about me or about Lorraine Danielson with my information, and then let me know if something is missing, wrong, doesn't look right. Make sure the links, right, um, are all for my content. And then what you're going to do is you're going to load up right here and you're going to add your sheet of paper that you completed with all your links. And you're going to load up and you're going to copy my prompt in. And it's literally going to rewrite it. And it's now going to make my prompt work for you. So then you will get all of this. You're going to get it with your information, right? It's going to say you have 15 years of experience and you've sold 300 homes. And if you haven't sold a lot of business and you don't want it to say that, then obviously you would tell it not to do that. But what it is going to do for you is give you all these links. It's going to write all the content. Now, you're the expert. You got to review it. If it writes something crazy, like for some reason every once in a while it hallucinates for me. My best school is North Paulding High School. It ranks the best, but there is another school out here that has won some awards for a few things. It thinks that's the better school. Well, I actually know the school ratings are not, no, the parents, it's actually the next to least on, like greatschools.org or something like that. So I had to make it override that. That knowledge that I know that parents want to live there, their kids want to go there and all that, that's local knowledge. AI can't do that for you. Okay. So if you get something, you got to review when it makes the pages so that it's appropriate. Um, so all this stuff, it does this and it's going to alternate it because Google wants you to have these calls to action be different every time. See how these all say something different? That prompt, I wrote it so it makes them a variable, okay? So that you don't get flagged or start losing some juice, right? See, these are all different. They can book an appointment with me. Every time it looks different, this is a different call to action. So that prompt's going to let you do everything that mine does. It'll just be tailored to you with some tweaks. So this is schools. Let's see here. Trying to think what else. This is my main homes for sale in Dallas, Georgia page, right? See, this looks totally different. It compared me to nearby markets. It's got a link to my lender, my new construction. These are links to neighborhoods, right? If I click the Seven Hills, it's taking them to Seven Hills. It will build all those links in there for you. Um, this is new construction. So when you're building it out, it makes it super easy. I asked it to include the 55 plus in there. New construction buyer guide. Oh, I have a broken link. Look at that. See, I moved something. So that's where you got to be careful. Um,
We have a ton of questions, Lauren. If
I
you want
know you
to
guys. Yeah,
just
I knew
maybe
when I
handle
am
three of
blowing
them.
your minds, right?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, but here's the
You're
thing.
okay.
Gosh, we only have how much longer? This may
Third,
be more than an hour a day,
I
Mel.
know, yes. 13 minutes. What I can do is pull some of these questions out, send them to you, and you can answer them and we can send them back out.
Yeah, let's look here. Okay, blogs don't inherently lose SEO potential over time, but they can decay faster than landing pages obtain. Your landing page is going to be anchored. Is that Dan? Let's see. All right. Here's what I would tell you in the blog post. So, um, if you build a blog and it answers a question, it could stay relevant for a very long time if it's a good question. The goal is to get people back for you to rank to the pages where they would register. Most people don't always want to register on like a blog. I mean, I would put IDX on there, right? But they're probably not doing that. They're looking for an answer. Um, so the goal really is to link back. My sellers stuff all answered a question. And what I'm going to give you is going to answer a question, and they all link back to your seller pages. You can cannibalize. And what happened to me is I wrote amazing blogs with Claude, and all of a sudden I was ranking. That's why some of my stuff isn't working right now. I've been tearing down some stuff, and it'll happen. You're going to do it. I promise. It's okay. The world won't end. You feel like it, but it won't. I had started ranking for a blog for one of my zip codes because I wrote such great content with this prompt. And then I had to change the prompt on my blog so it would not steal the Jews from my zip codes because ultimately I want them to register if they're a buyer. And I was seeing registration go down on that blog. It had great content and information, but the sole purpose was not to get them to register. So if that makes sense. Um, and then yes, Claude AI versus Chat GBT. Chat, I don't code in, I don't do any of the coding in chat, and I don't know how to code. Um, Everybody, including Peter, who is he the president, Mallory, or CEO?
See ya.
CEO of the company. He's like, everybody wants to know, do you really not code? I don't know anything about coding. I'm a real estate agent. I'm just a real estate agent that learned how to use AI. It writes all this code. It writes the blocks, the buttons, any linking you see in here. It does all that. I don't know how to do it. It writes the H1 tags, which is homes for sale in Dallas, Georgia. It writes all the next section. This right here is Dallas, Georgia market at a glance. That's an H tag. It does that. I don't have to do it. You don't have to be a coder either. So I would tell you if you're not using Claude, you need to. There's a free version. I think there's a 20. I'm in the 100 a month. It, it, I'm in it all the time. It will do data analysis very, very deep. I can load huge amounts of data from my MLS to write a blog, and it will do all of that for me. Let's see here. Market snapshot. Okay, that's my HTML.
Yeah, I think Precious specifically wanted to know, is it updating?
Um, the prompt updating itself, like the data for the
Yes.
market analysis.
Yeah.
So what I will tell you is no, it's not going to automatically update it. Now, if you use there's a module in here that I will show you. So you're going to have to refresh information. So that's where you've got to decide how often you want to touch something. And you could go into my prompt and you could say you want it not to have the market data be there, and that could be a blog. So that blog could be a 2026 blog, and then you could write another one. You could do a market update here, for example. Let me go to some of my blogs. Um, I compared zip codes and it had market data in it, right? I've got, let's see, Dallas versus Georgia, like a comparison. It has market data in here. This was an end of the year kind of recap I did. So those have market data in them. See, market update. So you could do that where you update something and you could keep that out of your landing pages. If you're not going to touch them enough, I would tell you to do that because you'll get stale. And that's where you'll stop ranking. If you use a date ever and you say this is the market in 2026 and now you're in 2027, you're going to start getting downgraded. So that's one of the things. If you don't want to do the updates all the time, take it out. You can totally take that out of that prompt. And here's the cheat code on that. If you go to Claude and say, I want to take out something, Claude will take it out. You're just going to talk to it. Like on my prompt, if I don't like something, Google changes something, Zillow changes something, I can go in and say, Zillow now does this, and I will do something. Like I literally have screenshots. Let's see if you can see them. Because like I said, I don't know how to code. I don't know how to do any of that. So if I come in here and these are all screenshots where I was working on something, and that was about a contract. Let's see. I screenshotted a piece of my page and I loaded this in and I didn't like something and I said, "Hey, I need to know something about this. Can you tell me like I was trying to fix a link and I said, I here's the links, fix these buttons. It'll do it." This was where I went on Zillow and I wanted to create this in my drop downs. And I took a picture of it and I said, okay, let's talk about how I can optimize this. And I want this now in my prompt. And it made it for me. And I just had to give it links for my safe searches. So you can tell it things and it'll take it out of the prompt. It'll put it back in. If, like I said, I don't have any information in that prompt about condos, but when you write it, say, I have condos and I'm going to need a condo section. What information do you need from me to help me make this prompt work for me? And then let's see. Okay, so there is a module right here on, it is InfoSparks if you go to your FMLS. But let's look at this right here. There's a module on a content page, not a blog, that you can add, and it's called a statistics model. It's built into Sierra. And then you can decide, do you want a full overview? What do you want here? But you can only do that on like your content pages. Mallory, tell somebody behind the scenes we want them on a blog too. Because we wouldn't have to go out to InfoSparks, but that's the cheat. If your MLS has InfoSparks, it will give you the module that looks like this right here, and it updates. This one updates every month too in Sierra, only on like a neighborhood page, your all your drop downs. But on the blogs, this isn't a module. You would have to go to your InfoSparks, and it has code. Somebody asked me this yesterday. Gosh, I'm so sorry. I know this is a lot of information. Um, Everybody asks me how you get this in here. Okay. So this little button that says HTML, that code I gave you out of Claude, that's what this is. All you do is copy and paste all this gobbledygook because that's what I think it is. I don't know how it comes out colors. I don't understand that. It's magic. But then it becomes this, right? And then if you come here, like in this one with all these buttons, look, I just copy and paste that in there. I'm going to give you guys that too. That's literally all the major links for the stuff I want to rank for is built into this. See that Navy Heroes call to action block? It's just this right here. And it just writes it. And then they link. All right. Did I get enough? Did I get the questions, Mallory? I'm not sure anymore. There's so much in there.
Sure.
Um,
There's you just showed how you took the Claude HTML import and put it into Sierra, so that one's done. You covered the one from Precious, and then Lynn Elliott is asking. She says, "All this looks great, but homes for sale and landing pages seem more focused on buyers. How are you in particular focused on getting sellers?" So if you can cover that one, that's the last one we'll cover today.
so tomorrow I'm going to show you. That's really all I thought I was doing tomorrow, unless somebody else has something. So this is what I will show you really quick. This is so simple. I know you're going to think it's crazy. This is all my drop downs on my sellers. Okay. They are very simple pages. My Sell Your Dallas, Georgia home is super simple, and I don't really have a lot of the Claude built out on it. It's just very basics. Okay. My listing page, I have what's your home worth and a market update. This is it. This is all the pages I have. I wrote a ton of blogs. So tomorrow I'm going to give you guys 130 blogs that you could write with Claude. And it literally tells you what it needs to say. And it's written where it will not steal the cannibalize SEO juice from the listing pages. So if you went in and used Claude and wrote these blogs, you will start to rank for sellers. And I'm going to give you that in the prompt tomorrow and show you how to do it. One of them. Somebody's asking where the HTML. But yeah, that, like I said, if you can work through those sheets, I know it's a lot of information. Um, but take it in bite-sized pieces, right? Go back in and rewatch this a little bit. But like I said, it's probably bite-sized pieces. Mallory, I think I'm going to do a little cheat sheet,
Okay.
unless you have one, which I'll probably do on the back end. That's almost like that says to everybody, and call it what you guys call it. Don't call it a drop down, or say drop down and then what y'all call it in the back, because that's where I
Mhm.
think people get confused. How to do the drop down, then how to build these out. Do y'all have that like a workflow?
Yes, I could go to our training and education team. Surely they have some
They gotta have a
information.
workflow. If not, I can build it in Claude, but I just feel like you guys have to have that. I think what
Yeah, because it's
everybody gets,
called different things, right? When you're looking at it from here, it's a main nav, right? And
yeah,
then it's a
cheat sheet
sub
for
nav.
workflow.
But within the system, it's content pages. And then you're
Yes.
having to rank them.
Yeah, and I think
Yep.
I think what everybody also, if we can go a couple more minutes, Mallory, I think the thing
Sure.
that everybody get lost in is you start trying to build content on all those pages. And what I found now, like when I first started this, I had to write everything by hand. I feel like I'm like a million years old saying that. But you used to actually write your content on your blogs and pages. And so you could only do so much, right? Because you're the one writing it. You're the one researching. And back then everything I had to hyperlink everything. I had to highlight it and do a hyperlink and connect it. I used to have these long pages of all my links on my site, and you don't have to do that anymore. And so everybody wants to build content, but what I will tell you is you have to create all the links. If you have the links, Then you can create the content with Claude, and it'll write you content in 5 to 7 minutes. The other day I got frustrated with it because it seemed like it was taking like 15, but I had put a large amount of data in it. And I asked it, I paused it and I said, "Hey, are you having a problem? Are you down today? You seem to be taking a really long time." And it got on to me and basically said to me, it says, "Well, are the few extra minutes worth you having the information than you having to do it yourself for a couple days?" I was like, "Oh, it just told me I need to be happy it was working for me in 15 minutes." But that's where you get so used to it being fast and it can do things I can't do. I can't analyze entire spreadsheets to do the market updates like I'm doing. What I found is days on market right now are what's closed are kind of a lie. I have a large amount of homes that are expired and withdrawn in my area, and it can pick up duplicates. I've got it to where it will see what's happening really in my market. So yeah, days on market for houses that closed might say 60. My MLS started doing the thing where if it was listed multiple times, it's not picking that up. It's just showing somebody took it off the market, put it back on, it was 7 days. That listing might have really been 143. So it will do some amazing things for you, if you learn to play with it, and it will help you build so much faster. um let's see. Great use case to use ChatGPT or Claude to help you troubleshoot that since it's a browser based issue. Erica, open page incognito, try another browser. Are y'all still trying to open up the links?
No, so I think Erica is talking about copying and pasting content, whether it's in like regular text or HTML, and that she's been restricted because her browser won't allow it. So I just sent her like two quick things she could do, but also told her it's a great use case for ChatGPT or Claude to try to troubleshoot that for her.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing too is when you're looking to see if you rank, this gets asked to me a bunch of times. So you could have a ton of visitors that come to your site and they bounce. And that to me is like the dopamine rush everybody looks at instead of like TikToks and how many views and likes you have. You could have a lot of people that come, but they don't stay and they don't register. So you got to have good content. You got to provide what they're looking for. You got to know your area. Like I just showed you those guys running ads. Somebody's running an ad and it literally opens to nothing. They're wasting a whole bunch of money. You could do waste time here. Another thing is conversion. The reason I don't have as much built out and I'm years in on my buy side is I wanted sellers. So for me, I have heavily created content for the sellers and our market's shifted and I have a small team and they like buyers. And so I'm trying to work on that. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't rank as well and I just tore a bunch of stuff down. So I'm not, it takes you about 3 to 6 months if you tear something down to rank back again. If you're willing to put the time in, I tore a bunch of stuff down because there was a bunch of changes on Google. And it's always going to change. But on my seller side, I still rank. We'll go into incognito and
Hey, Lorraine, let's do 5 more minutes and then we'll wrap if
yeah,
that's
then
all right
we'll
with you.
wrap. But I still rank over here. And this changes every day. Is somebody running an ad? See, this is me on the side. Homes for sale. I'm right here. Somebody's running an ad. Sell my Dallas, Georgia home. Let's see. We'll say it a different way. Okay, so right here, let's open this up a little bit. This AI sometimes says me, sometimes it doesn't. You're not going to win it every time. If they want to sell it and it's written this way, it's me. We buy houses, homes for sale. That's me. All right. See, somebody's running some keywords right here. This is off of Google My Business. You're not going to beat somebody running an ad. I would tell you, you want to rank. Mallory and I were just talking, run a little bit of Google PPC or something for it. There I am in the marketing. The other day it had me in the AI. Today it doesn't for some reason, right? So there I am again. I'm showing up a couple times. My goal is always just to show up more than somebody else. I always show up on the map pack. I talked about this yesterday where I post almost every day something. I have somebody that schedules that out for me and it links back to my site. Um, so depending on what you want, you can rank for listings. Um, and everybody that calls me just says, I always ask them how they found me, and they say, well, no matter what I searched about listing my home in Dallas, Georgia, you showed up. Because they're looking for someone targeted. And the information. So that really came, like I said, just a few drop downs and a lot of blogging. I just answered all the questions they would want to know. And that's what I'm going to talk about tomorrow, unless Mallory tells me y'all want something different. The intent is tomorrow I'm going to show you how I blogged and write all that and how to use Claude to do it. Um,
Yep, that's the plan. So much
I feel like
engagement
I've blown
today.
everybody's minds a little bit today.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Well, there's tons of engagement. So what you're covering is extremely important stuff. Can you view the class that you are sending out, Pam, and everyone else who's on here? Um, if you need the recording, it is on our YouTube channel. I did get our email issue fixed, so if you did not get the recap from yesterday, I'm going to be sending it out before end of day today, and the recap for today will be in your inbox tomorrow morning. So watch out for that. But yes, if you have anyone who wants to watch this, feel free to send them the link from our YouTube channel, which is the link that I'm including um, in the email. So great job, Lorraine. We'll see everyone tomorrow.
You call me after. I just want to before we do tomorrow, real quick.
Yes, sure.
Thank you. Thank
All
you,
right.
everybody.
Bye, y'all.
Tomorrow.